Hey, Alex.
Hey, Andrew.
What's this?
Brains on the Outside.
What's that?
It's a podcast where we dream up ridiculous businesses to solve the world's issues.
Each week, we take one of our listeners' problems and we pitch a company, product, or service to help them out.
Then we bicker about whose was best.
Previous ideas have included the cheapest streaming service in the world that shows budget remakes of all your favourite shows, and a taxi with a toilet in it called Poober. So, Alex, here we are again. Recording another episode.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you as well. We're in your house, we're in your kitchen. When I walked in, though, you were playing a very interesting Xbox game.
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly explain what it was?
I was just power washing Andrew.
Now, is that as literal as it sounds?
Yeah, that's it. I was just well, it's not literally. I wasn't literally power washing. I was virtually power washing a monastery in Power Washing Simulator. It's not that complicated to understand.
It's not. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess there's a bit which is. It sounds like it makes a weird game.
Yeah.
You just have a dirty monastery and then you power wash all the dirt off, and that's it.
That's literally it. Yeah, that's as deep as it gets. But what's really interesting about it is people keep telling me that I should just go and power wash something in real life, and I'm like, fuck no.
Fuck no.
I don't want to do that. I'd get all dirty and wet and gross.
Yeah. It's like you don't play FIFA and like, right, I'm going to go play in the World Cup now. That's not how it works.
Do you think that there are power washing championships
100%
in the world?
There's like my brother works as a plumber, and there is like plumbing championships.
Holy shit.
Yeah. People like get set challenges and they're like, fix this thing, and then you do it, and I don't know. I actually have no idea how you even like rate or rank that, but apparently there is like a competition system.
Wow, that's I actually fucking love that. I want to look that up on YouTube.
Actually, that would be quite a good episode idea one time, which is how do you put that idea into other industries?
Yeah, how do you competitionize anything?
Is there anything else weird in Power? You said there was a weird element of Power Washing Simulator and a little innovative twist there.
There's a weird little, for a game that's about power washing, it has like a lot of backstory.
That's really, that is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's all delivered through text messages. There's no cutscenes or anything. It's just literally text messages. And sometimes the text messages that appear on screen are, I have this thing for you to wash. Can you come and wash it, please? And sometimes they're like, there is a giant monster in this village that is eating all of the cats, I think. And it's really difficult to get to the bottom of what's going on. I'm pretty sure that the monks from the monastery that I just power washed went to go and egg someone else's house, and I just had to power wash that house before I power washed the monks' monastery as well. So there's a lot of environmental and integral storytelling for a game that's entirely about squeegeeing the shit off a building.
I love that, though. I love that weird storytelling method.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. The writing's quite good as well. And it's very satisfying. It tickles that bit of my brain that's just, you just sit and you power wash up, power wash down. And then at the end, it gives you like a time lapse of the thing that you've just power washed. And it's incredibly satisfying to watch because it squashes what is literally several hours worth of work in some instances into like a 20-second.
It's not like you're doing this in real time. It's not like you're speed power washing this. This thing will take hours to power wash in game.
Yeah. It takes a long time. I'm sure people who are better at Power Washing Simulator than I am power wash quicker than I do. But I just find it really satisfying just to go backwards and forwards with the little spray and, do it in a really kind of methodical way. I'm not a methodical person in real life, but in Power Washing Simulator, I can pretend to be that methodical person.
Maybe all that methodical process part of your brain is being dumped out in Power Washing Simulator and not during work.
Shit.
So there's something else about this episode that we've been scared of this for a while.
Yeah.
This is the 69th episode.
What's important about that, Andrew?
Well, it's one of the only two funny numbers. Our listener, Hannah, has sent in a very interesting and still quite safe for work question.
Yeah.
That I think fits this episode pretty well.
I love the idea that we think that our podcast is safe for work when we say fuck every single word.
And sometimes I think maybe we should, but I just can't help it. Yeah. And then if you listen right to the end, our listener, Elliot, who sent in last week's idea, challenge, problem, has written in to tell us which one he preferred, who the winner is.
Amazing.
Should we listen to Hannah's problem right now, though?
Yeah.
So I was walking down the street when I noticed a drawing of a penis on a lamppost. And I mean, it was crude in every sense of the word. And I can't work out what made me more angry, like how crap the drawing was, or the fact that it was there in the first place. But like, I'm nearly 40 and penis drawings have not moved on in the slightest. So can you either disincentivize people from doing it or improve the cock and ball pictures so they're better than the shit I had to look at that ruined my little walk? Thank you.
Thanks, Hannah. That is a question and a problem that I completely understand. It reminded me actually of a time when I walked down a street in the lovely town of Durham that we live in the snow. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of cars parked on the street, and every car on the street had a cock and balls drawn in the windscreen in the snow.
No.
Wait.
Oh.
Except for one car.
Okay. Suspicious.
Where they tried to draw a vagina.
Oh, God.
And really fucked it up.
Oh, no.
And then the next car was back to cock and balls again. But I appreciated their attempt.
They tried, you know. They
really tried to do that, yeah.
Now, that is quite funny.
Yeah.
But I do see our point where it's been done before. It's not original. It's not big, and it's not clever.
No.
Do you have an idea? Do you have a business product or solution that could somehow solve this?
I do. I do.
I'm actually genuinely interested to hear.
So, Andrew, what if we turned every bit of graffiti into the equivalent of a QR code?
Okay.
So, for any bit of graffiti, it's possible to whip out your phone, scan that bit of graffiti.
Okay.
That graffito, I believe it is.
Oh,
one graffito.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
And it will take you to a web page.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So, in order to de-incentivize people from drawing dicks on absolutely everything,
Yep.
we can just make that picture of a dick, any dick, graffiti. We can link that to something that just devalues it, basically.
Okay.
Straight away.
Like what?
I don't know. Could go to theconservatives.com. Okay. Or UKIP, the UKIP sign-up page.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so every time you draw a dick, it signs you up to be a UKIP member when you scan it.
You are,
that sort of
slightly culpable for their actions that might do.
Yeah, there's a more direct repercussion. By drawing a penis on the side of something, mm-hmm. you are actually
advertising
your affiliation with a political or cultural aspect that you do not want to be associated with anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Or, you scan it and it's an advert for the local genital health clinic. So actually, even if you did draw a dick, it's actually quite a useful thing to have drawn because it reminds people to go and get checked.
Oh, so of having it as a public service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and we could do that for any bit of graffiti. You go and scan a Banksy and it takes you to somewhere cool.
Right, okay, yeah.
Or you go and, there's that classic bit of graffiti with the guy peeking over the wall with his nose hanging down and everything. You scan that thing and it takes you to a construction company's website.
So who gets to decide? Right? Who's the person who goes, yeah, I think the penis goes to the Conservative Party website and, the Banksy goes to a cool website.
Yeah.
Who decides that? Is the person who actually draws the graffiti the person who decides where it goes to?
No, definitely not, because then the incentive loop becomes all mad and weird, right? If you draw your own bit of graffiti and you can link it to whatever you want, we lose that ability to de-incentivize people
right
to draw the stuff in the first place or to be more unique with their drawings. What I think we have to have is kind of a council of elders who determine what it is that where stuff goes, basically. Right. All right. So, you scan a bit of graffiti that's never been scanned before and it pings up an alert on the council of elders phones and they decide where it goes. And maybe it's just like first person to get to it answers the question.
So there's a council of elders who, in a sense, are cultural tastemakers because they are also deciding what's cool and what's not. Like, cool things go to cool websites. bad things with the bad websites.
Yeah.
So how do I, Andrew,
Yeah.
get on this council?
Oh, well, I think the entry to the council has to be really heavily gatekeeped,
Of
to
course,
be honest. Probably by me
Oh, okay, right.
directly. So, you know,
Is
maybe
Hannah
I'm...
is Hannah on it, the listener, or is she out the loop as well?
That's a good question. I think because she kind of triggered the coming up with this council in the first place, she can definitely be on it.
Right, yeah.
I think, yeah. Maybe with slightly lower voting privileges than maybe I've got.
So there is voting.
Yeah, well...
Well, in a sense.
In a sense.
You have 51% voting share.
I think your level of voting privileges is how quickly you get the text messages. So you have a bit of time to... So you get the message that says, oh, someone just scanned a cock and balls picture, and it goes out in order of voting preference, voting
Right.
privileges, right? So I would get it first, and maybe a minute before everyone else. So I have an extra minute to reply and get in there. Or, you know, someone further down the line might sneak in and grab it. Obviously, there's a problem if I'm asleep.
Yeah.
Someone else is going to get it.
But I guess you could have, having worldwide, so it'll always be
coverage, full coverage. Exactly.
Someone asleep, someone awake.
So there's also, though, you know me, Andrew, I'm a big business boy.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm most interested in is
Monetization.
monetization.
Of course.
How do we make money from this?
This is actually a really good money-making scheme as well.
Exactly. It is, because we can just sell those ads. We can just sell that ad
So,
space.
if there's also like what if like, oh, here is an unflattering piece of graffiti, and
Yeah.
you link to the Coca-Cola website.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, we could change that, Mr. Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're not a charity, we're a business here.
Yeah, we are a business, and it does take a lot of effort for us to change that.
Yeah.
You know, it took us a lot of time to just write Coca-Cola.com in that box when someone sent it through. You know, do you want to change it so that a picture of something really cool goes to Coca-Cola? We can do that, but, you know, it's a lot of effort and a lot of work. It's probably
So
£10 million worth of effort.
The Council of Elders, they were not under any pretense that this is a fair organization. They can be bought and sold. Is that what we're saying?
I mean, everyone has a price, Andrew, at the end of the day.
I think as long as the bad things go to the Tory website, we don't take money from big political parties, then I think
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly, yeah. There's no, you know, we're entirely apolitical.
Right. Well, what's the incentive for me? What would
Yeah.
the incentive for me, the user of the app, be to scan the graffiti? What would I get out of it?
Well, you get a quick link to a website that you want to go to.
Oh, so you're imagining I want to go to Amazon.
Yeah.
And I go outside and I
Yeah.
have to scurry around outside for find a piece of graffiti that could link me there.
Yeah. I think the long-term goal is that you no longer can type an address into a URL bar in a browser. You have to
Okay.
go outside and find a bit of graffiti that links to that thing.
It's just a QR code. You go out, you find the graffiti that reflects eBay.
Yeah.
Scan it. Okay.
Now, there are some things that we need to do in order to make this work. Obviously, we have to make sure that we've installed Graffiti Lovers as the head of all the major browsers for this to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Step one. That's
Okay.
the next step. And then they remove the browser bar and replace it just with the thing where you can take a photograph of a bit of graffiti.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a two-step process.
Yeah.
How hard can it be? I have two questions, a positive one and maybe a slightly negative one.
Okay, I'll answer the first one.
Okay, so the positive one is this is actually a good idea because if you think of Pokemon Go,
Yeah.
it's, you know, you're staring at your phone screen, but at least you're getting outside, you're walking.
Yeah.
I think this is really good.
Exactly.
Really good public health, because you might have to walk a really, really long way
Yeah.
to find the BBC Good Food QR graffiti code.
You would, but, you know, we're really giving more jobs to graffiti artists as well here, because BBC Good Food are going to have their own graffiti artists to make sure that BBC Good Food's graffiti is actually on every wall in the city, aren't they?
So this is going to be my negative point.
Okay.
Are we now, though we are disincentivizing penis-related graffiti,
Yeah.
is your business product service now incentivizing just huge amounts of graffiti in general? And is that a bad thing?
Do you know what, Andrew? I think you ask a very interesting question there. Is it a bad thing? Because I've always felt personally that most walls are just not colourful enough.
You know what? That is actually quite true.
You know, that's it. And I, for one, am very excited at the prospect of graffiti artists spray painting over each other's graffiti on behalf of big corporations all the time.
Oh, so you don't think there's enough mega corporations in the world?
Well, you know, if I'm Amazon.com and I want to make sure that my Amazon.com URL is available to people, I'm not going to care that much if I spray over
That's true.
Tesco's.com
That's true.
on the same wall, am I? And eventually I feel like the entire world becomes like, do you remember the $1 million homepage? Which was a million pixels and you could buy a block of pixels. I feel like the whole world is becoming that, right?
Yeah. It would be kind of nice. You could have a little bit of graffiti on like your garden wall, your garden fence. Quick links, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There is one thing that I've thought about which might be an issue, which is if you are a good artist, you could draw your own version of the graffiti, the links. So if you're a bad artist, you're going to have to go for a walk. If you're a good artist, you get to sit in your bum and just draw it on a piece of paper.
In a sense, we are kind of training, though, people to be really good at art.
We are.
And that's
true.
an underfunded part of education right now, right?
100%. Yeah, my kids never do art. But if they had to do art in order to be able to get to wikipedia.com, well.
Yeah.
Yeah, or ChatGPT. That would be, yeah. There you go.
I like it.
Yeah. I think it's, you know, it's my instinct is that people who are good at art don't like things that are anti-art.
Yeah.
Like the conservatives.
Yeah.
Like, you know, bad people and stuff. So they're just not going to draw those things.
That's,
You know?
that's true. This still does, in the end, help Hannah's problem.
Yeah, it does. It makes all our graffiti more exciting. You know, we are 100% committed to dicks taking you to a bad page of the internet that nobody wants.
So can you quickly, 30 seconds, just sum the idea up for us?
Yeah, so we make every piece of graffiti a tag to a website on the internet. The links are determined by the Council of Elders, which is run by me, obviously, as the originator of the idea, the founder of this business, and we are open to bribery. I mean, advertising agreements.
We have a pretty good advert today.
Oh, good.
Yeah, another sponsor has come on board.
Nice.
It's very exciting to get all these big businesses involved in our big business podcast.
Yeah, it is.
This company's actually been in the news recently. You might have heard of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so do you see the thing where someone went into the Louvre and threw a mustache on the Mona Lisa?
Yeah, I did see that.
Of course, I mean, everyone saw that, right?
Everyone saw that, yeah.
Well, this company is the company that did that. It wasn't actually drawn on. What they do is they go in to art installations and they put on this new cover of the art full of iron filings.
Oh.
And then you can get a magnet and draw things on top of the painting.
Oh.
So this is what they're selling. The ability to put iron filings on top of any painting. So you can draw mustaches, maybe funny words, all sorts of things.
Spectacles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. A beard, a big tattoo. Man, super exciting.
Super exciting stuff. It's really bringing art to a whole new generation, getting people excited about it, giving a bit of interactivity. You go see the Mona Lisa, apparently it's pretty boring. It's pretty small. There's a huge queue. Now, what they're offering is you can go up to it now with your little magnet and draw funny things on it.
Man, this is art for the masses, art for the new generation.
Exactly.
Interactive art everywhere. I love it.
So they're excited to get the word spread to other artists, museums, any sort of private art collector, so they can go in and install this new piece of kit.
Brilliant. And if I was gonna Google search for this company, what would I search for, Andrew?
So again, they're a little light on details in their copy they sent me. So they're called Vincent Van Graffiti.
Well, that's a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It was weird. I just had to shuffle through the copy a bit to find it, but I did find it eventually.
It's hard, isn't it? Because they usually put it right on the front there.
I mean,
at the top. Yeah.
I just read out what I get sent, you know?
Okay. Yeah, fair dues. If someone else wanted to sponsor an episode of Brains on the Outside in the future, Andrew, and they wanted to maybe provide us with the name up front.
Oh, yeah. If you have a business or product or solution that you want to advertise in Brains on the Outside, that's definitely real.
Yeah.
Email us at brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
And if you could put the name of your company in the subject line,
that'd be excellent.
That would be so good.
That'd be excellent.
That'd be great. Yeah, because I feel like we keep getting caught out by this.
It's just hard. I do agree with you, Alex. So this is a problem that technology can solve. So my solution, my business pitch is quite tech focused as well. Mm-hmm. Lots of industries, new products they ship out are getting more and more techy and advanced, even in like pretty non-traditional, simple places. You know, you get lots of smart tools now. Lots of things have Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connected. You can get data out of everything.
Yeah.
But you can't get data and you can't internet connect a spray can.
Okay.
So what my company do is, well, what I hope they're going to do is make spray cans you can link to your phone.
Oh, okay.
So you get the spray can, you register it on your phone, and when you spray something, you make your art, because the spray can is full of accelerometers and stuff, it knows the shape of the thing it has drawn.
Right.
This is now uploaded to the internet, to a website where people can vote on whether it was good or not. So now your art, your creation, it's not just localized onto this wall, but it is put out there to the whole wide world to comment and vote and rate and like.
Wow.
So you are now disincentivized from, doing repeat artworks, things over and over again, like a penis, because people will see that on this equivalent of Twitter. I'd be like, well, I've seen that before. Downvote.
Oh, wow. Brutal.
Yeah. So I think kind of wisdom of the crowds.
Yeah.
And a bit of Internet of Things technology, we can really revolutionize the spray can.
Yeah, that's interesting, because it also means that, because a lot of graffiti artists, they put their tag on things, don't they, to say they've been to that place.
Yeah.
And like now your tag has to be slightly different every time you do it.
Well, we still allow you to tag it with your official tag, but you've actually raised a really good point. Graffiti artists, when they do good work, they're proud to own up to it. So I think this is just the next step, bringing it to a wider audience.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay. I like that. And I also like that the beginning of this is going to be more and more elaborate drawings of penises.
Yes.
Until eventually all of the penises have been drawn, and then everyone's getting downvoted. Because,
I think, I assume you could develop an advanced AI algorithm where you could feed in the thing you've just drawn, and it'd be like, oh, this is too similar to the last one.
Yeah.
We're just going to inform the council immediately to come clean this off the wall.
Yeah. I like that, because it means every bit of graffiti has to be nice and unique and different.
Yeah.
It's good, Andrew.
Or there's potential as well. Maybe allow it, if it was far enough away from a similar one, you could repeat the artwork.
Oh, in location
so
wise.
One per city.
Yeah, okay. All right. How do you make money off this, Andrew?
Straight to the monetization.
Well,
so obviously we'll probably be selling your data.
Right.
These spray cans are going to be extremely advanced data collection devices.
Yeah.
So I imagine it'll have, things to monitor your pulse, where you are. It might even have a little screen on it to feed you ads that are location based.
Okay.
Obviously, we'll be sending all the drawings to relevant companies. If you spray paint a Coke related thing, we're spraying Coca-Cola. It'll be a data selling thing, I think.
Okay, right. So the spray cans themselves are going to be about the same price as a regular spray can. Is that the idea?
Well, we hope so.
Okay.
I would hope so. But at the end of the day, they might be a bit more expensive, because this is a pretty advanced piece of technology, I imagine.
Right. And as a graffiti artist, What is my incentive to use your spray cans over using a standard spray can that would still allow me to remain anonymous?
So one thing is that it's just going to be, I believe market forces will force us into the default version of the spray can.
Okay.
Must be the big companies on board, you know?
Yeah.
And they realize they can keep monetizing their spray can after the initial purchase through selling data. I don't know who the big spray can manufacturers are right now, but I think they'll want to get on board. So I think eventually this will be phased out to be the only type of spray can. Also, there is just the glory of, I have spray painted this thing and it's out there in the world. You don't have to use your real name.
Yeah.
But the forces of upvoting and downvoting will still be applied to you.
I think you could maybe take a leaf out of the printer company's books.
That's actually really good.
And start charging people a subscription for spray paint instead of charging by the can. Charge them for subscriptions for spray paint, and you send them the cans when their can is currently running out. You automatically send it. So I pay £10 a month for my printing, and when my ink runs out, they just send me some more because I'm paying so much a month for it. So I pay £10 a month, and I just get graffiti cans, spray cans through the post. That automatically.
The shifting of thinking from you're not paying for the can, you're paying for using the ink.
Yeah.
Now, there's an interesting tiering system there maybe where 1 tier you get the good ink and the second tier you get slightly worse ink that's maybe decided upon by us. So maybe you get like a blue that's very reminiscent of the Facebook logo blue. You get a red that's very reminiscent of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So that's maybe an advertising thing as well.
Yeah.
Paint that is sponsored.
Actually, that if you think about this as well, actually, because what I don't pay for with my printer is ink. I pay for pages that I've printed. So actually, what you want to charge for maybe is pictures, is graffiti. So it's pay per. So you pay a subscription, you get this many graffiti pictures per month that you can draw. If you draw something which is also a logo in a positive way, maybe that increases the number of pictures that you can draw each month. That's
actually it. That's how we make money. We incentivize people to spray paint advertisement.
Yeah.
That is not just free. It is you get extra graffiti. You get extra paint, effectively. If you, for every normal spray paint you do 2 ones advertising Amazon, TV show Citadel, you do 2 of them, you get a lot paint for free.
Oh, again, I love that we have both ended up creating a product, a service that really is going to incentivize the creation of a lot of advertising graffiti across the country.
I think it'll all balance out because on one hand, this will be put into your portfolio as well, to be upvoted and downvoted. I imagine there'll be some kind of social pressure not to be 100% advertisement and, put some good art out there as well.
It's true. Oh, it's a free market thing. It's self-moderating. It's good, Andrew.
Thank you.
It's a nice idea. Can I ask you a different question?
Of course.
Related. What's the best bit of graffiti you've ever seen?
Now, when I think about that, I'm going to answer your question slightly differently.
Yeah.
I once saw a Fringe show.
Yeah.
I'll find her name right now, but her whole act is songs, but all the lyrics are graffiti from toilet stalls.
Oh, it's nice.
She spent like the last 10 years getting people to send her pictures of this inside of toilet stalls with graffiti on it.
Oh, that's
she
good.
Stitched it all together to make music. Oh yeah. So her name was Caitlin Cook. It's really funny. Do you have an example of your favorite piece of graffiti?
I do, Andrew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Kate used to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And she was a geography teacher. I actually have 2 favorite bits of graffiti from her time as a geography teacher because she used to bring geography books home sometimes, and they would always have some graffiti inside the geography book. And there was one picture of 2 rock stacks at the seaside, a really big one and a really small one, and both of them had been turned into huge pits. Absolutely massive. And the second thing was when her and her colleague were clearing out a cupboard in the geography classroom once. They found a bunch of old school cassettes, like audio cassettes.
Yeah.
And the backs of the cassettes had all been graffitied. And one of them said, Steve's mum's sex noises. And another one said, more of Steve's mum's sex noises. And then the last one said, Steve's dad's sex noises.
I think children they're really great minds.
So good. Yeah.
Now, in both those situations, my spray paint cans, they would have thought that would have passed the test because they were unique. And probably quite well upvoted.
Yeah. I still think about those a lot. Think about it a lot. Yeah. So can you just summarize? Sorry, there's a little digression there. Can you summarize your idea for me, please, Andrew?
So I'm going to install sensors and accelerometers into spray paint cans. So when someone spray paints a design, it's going to get uploaded to the internet for people to vote on.
Nice.
And the shame of doing a generic, boring dick drawing and mocked by the internet will disincentivize people from drawing them. So that was two, I think, again, pretty innovative ideas.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Hannah to weigh in on whether she prefers my spray paint cans or your QR codes.
Yeah.
But we do have, from last week, we have our results from last week. Last week, our reader Elliot wanted effectively Google smell search to find out what thing he was smelling was.
Yeah.
And we both had a pretty good idea where I would have like not a sommelier for wine, but a smellier for smells would help him out. And what was your idea?
And just to break from the mold, I spent a lot of time talking and thinking about how we would monetize smell search.
Yeah.
In a good way and pay people based on their creation of good smells.
Right. So Elliot has his feedback. And I don't fully agree with it, but, people think what they think, He says, Andrew, I liked that your idea involved going into a lot of vaults. Thank you, Elliot. But I was less happy it involved gaslighting your whole customer base. Well.
I mean, it did definitely do that, Andrew.
Well.
You were going to tell people that there were actually only 255 smells.
He said in your idea, though, I really liked Alex's idea. And I like that it will let me turn smelling things into my next girl boss side hustle. So I'm going to choose him as a winner.
Wow.
So I guess thank you, Elliot, for your question.
I believe that's one apiece then,
one
Andrew.
apiece. It would be nice if you vote for me, but it's okay. It's one apiece. That's fair. That's nice. I would have felt bad if it was 2-0. If a listener wants to send us one of their problems, how should they do that?
Well, Andrew, I'm going to say it's not if. We definitely have listeners out there who want to send us their problems.
Oh, yeah. And they should definitely do it.
And they should all do it.
Yeah.
All of them. They should email us at brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
Exactly.
Yeah, what was that again?
brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
Yes, brainsontheoutside@gmail.com.
I'm so proud of us. We've been so mature and handled the 69th episode with the grace and decorum that everyone would expect from us.
We have.
And because of that, I think people, if they could leave us a great review, that'd be excellent. And is there anything else they could do for us?
Just tell your friends. Tell your pals.
That would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Tell your biggest frenemy right now.
Frenemy.
Just message him right now. Be like, what up? You suck. Listen to this podcast. Have you got a final idea, Andrew?
I have one. Yes, I do. There's buttons you can get that dogs press that will make a human noise, a word.
Yeah.
So you presses it and it goes outside, and your dog wants to go outside. Why isn't there buttons that humans can press that make dog noises?
Keep your brain on the outside, man.
Keep your brain on the outside.